A demonstration over the ongoing migrant crisis quickly turns violent. Protesters throwing punches, kicking, even choking each other. This chaotic scene unfolded at the doorstep of Gracie Mansion on Manhattan's Upper East Side. The NYPD made several arrests.
This migrant thing is getting crazy in New York. We got to talk about it. All right, to understand this migrant crisis in New York, I got to give you a little history lesson. So this is the New York City's official webpage, and this happened in 2014. This is Mayor at the time, Bill de Blasio, the guy right before this mayor. And he signs this bill to dramatically reduce New York City's cooperation with U.S. immigration and customs enforcement deportations. In other words, what this bill did was essentially say that local law enforcement, the NYPD, couldn't assist in any way immigration officials to deport people, right? So if you wanted to deport somebody, the NYPD couldn't do anything, right? They just were going to all hands off, officially making New York a sanctuary city by law. This was signed, sealed, and delivered. We're not going to help immigration. If you make it to New York, you're good, because we're not going to help in anything when it comes to immigration. That's the first thing happened. So now, remember, that was 2014. Now we're going to fast forward 4 years to 2018. See this article, 2018. And this is where Trump, wins, and New Yorkers open the borders. New York rally urges U.S. to welcome caravans. So in other words, bring all of the immigrants to us. We love them. We love them. And you had mass protests to say, bring them in, bring them in. We want immigrants. Stop the scare tactics, right? Calling Trump a racist, right? We want them. We want them. There they are. Protested in the streets. New Yorkers. Matter of fact, here is how the protests look. 30,000 New Yorkers showed up to protest. Bring us the immigrants. That's what they were saying. Bring them to us. We want the immigrants. Bring them to us. You think I'm full of crap. Here it is. Here's the protest.
Can they just pull up these scared?
Yes. I'm not asking you.
So now after bring us the immigrants, right? That's what they said they wanted. So you know what? Texas Governor Greg Abbott and the Arizona governor was like, you know what, you big mouth liberals up in New York, you think this is easy? We're going to send you the immigrants. We're going to send them to you. Here's the news report.
The buses keep coming to New York City and Washington, D.C. At first, hundreds, now thousands of migrants arriving in the Northeast after being sent by the governors of Texas and Arizona.
The need has outstripped our capacity to respond to it.
Calling it a humanitarian crisis, D.C.'s mayor has requested the National Guard. New York City's mayor is also asking the federal government for help.
I don't think anything is more anti-American than shipping people on a bus 45-hour trip without any of the basic needs that they have, a direction or coordination.
Democrats call the busing a political stunt. Republicans argue it's a last resort as scenes like this unfold at the U.S. southern border. Large groups of migrants crossing, human smugglers cramming 150 people into this 18-wheeler. The Border Patrol says more than 200 dead migrants have been found in just one section of Texas since last October. Nationwide, border apprehensions actually fell 4% from June to July, but overall, this fiscal year has seen the highest number on record.
It was just Texas and Arizona that bore the brunt of all of the chaos and all the problems that come with it. Now the rest of America is understanding exactly what is going on.
I love my governor. I'll live in Texas now. I love that man because he did the right thing. They did the right thing. It's only us, right? Because we're on the border. It's only us. You know what? Ship their asses up to New York. Since they want to march in the street, tell them about let them all in. Okay, we're going to let them all in. We're going to ship them to your ass. So you know what? Now, you can't let the left wing not make this an issue about race, right? Identity politics. So here it is. Adams says Texas governor is targeting 5 cities run by black mayors. So it's about race. Race. It's racism. It's a racism issue. No, it's not. When there was a white mayor in there, they were like, this is crazy. But now you're black, so we're going to ship them to you because you know what? You guys we want immigrants. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is crazy because I'm going to take you back to what Mayor Adams just said about shipping migrants to other cities. Remember what he just said? Just in case you forgot, because I know it's easy to forget. Let me play it again.
It's more anti-American than shipping people on a bus 45-hour trip without any of the basic needs that they have, a direction or coordination.
You heard that? Shipping people away on 40, is wrong. It's un-American. It's un-American. So he wouldn't do that, right? He wouldn't do that. Of course, he would not be shipping people from New York to Texas. That's wrong. It's un-American. You know what I'm about to show you. New York City spent $50K to send migrants to Florida, Texas, and China. Report. He's shipping them away. Shipping them away. Go. No, we can't. We're going to go back to Texas. And you know where else he's shipping them? Not just Texas. They shipping them to Canada too. Looks like the mayor is full of crap. Full of crap. They sending them everywhere. He's shipping them out too. You know what? Good. Good for those people in New York who was protesting on the street, talking about bring everybody in. Now they're shipping them to you, and now they're crying in the streets, fighting with each other, talking about we can't handle it. It's too much. Yeah, it was okay when it was in Texas, right? It was okay when it was in Arizona, but it's not okay now. Now we got to close the border. What kind of BS is that? Things like this make me upset. Now the good citizens of New York want to wake up to the madness and say, well, you know what, all these stupid Democrats that we voting for, they're not really doing too much for us except making life really harder and trying to force us into these horrible situations. The immigration policy is ridiculous. You can't just let everyone in. We want to let everybody in. We want to be the world's doorstep and allow as many people in as possible, but there's a cost to that. And you can't sit there and complain that Texas doesn't want to pay that cost and then sit back there. Because don't forget, this is what it was, right? New York was, Texas could pay that cost. Texas can keep those people. But we can just sit here and pretend that we want all of them to come in. And then when you send it to them, you know what they did? They started sending them out too. This is the hypocrisy that I think of the left-wing cities. They're hypocrites, right? They should be loving this. This should be a great thing, but it's not, right? And then you see how they do and throw out, oh, he's being racist. No, he's not. Nobody's buying that.
The new arrivals sent to a temporary 300-bed shelter at a former school.
The city of New York did not ask for any type of input as to where they were going to put these migrant shelters.
Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul appealing to President Biden for help, sending a letter calling for expedited work authorizations, federal financial assistance, and additional sites for new shelters on federally owned properties, similar to one announced last week in Brooklyn at a former World War II Naval Air Station property.
This crisis originated with the federal government, and it must be resolved through the federal government.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas announcing $77 million in funding for communities receiving migrants like New York City, and the Biden administration asking Congress to approve $600 million more for those cities. New York City officials say they're eyeing hundreds of other sites as potential shelters, while more than 58,000 people are currently in the system, and that number only expected to grow.
We have a long tradition of welcoming people here, and that will continue.
All right, Valerie Castro joins us now in studio here on Top Story. So both the mayor and the governor, one of the things they agree upon during this crisis is that the work authorization should be fast-tracked. Is that something the Biden administration can do?
So there are two senior officials with the Department of Homeland Security that tell NBC News there is no way to fast-track this. The rule says that migrants, asylum seekers, have to wait 180 days before they can even apply for that authorization. Those officials say for that to change, it would take an act of Congress to change the law.
Damn. So they stuck. So they are factually stuck. But again, you remember, these rules were already in place, right? So it was okay when it was in Texas. I want people to really, really hammer that home. It was okay when this was happening in Texas. It was okay when this was happening in Arizona, right? None of this was a problem. Now you ship them to New York, and it's a migrant crisis, right? Before, let's not forget, before you guys start getting weepy-eyed on me, let's not forget, let me go back to the screen so you guys can see it. Let's not forget, they were marching for the immigrants to come in, as long as they were in Texas, right? 30,000 people, thousands of people march, right? 30,000. See, an estimated 30,000 people took part in a massive rally, unhappy with the zero tolerance policy. We're not going to take people in. 30,000 New Yorkers. That's more than most towns. You people who are watching this probably don't even live in a city with 30,000 people. Now those same people, well, what you going to do? We need help. What? You need help? fighting in the street. Fighting in the street. Now, I'm going to tell you the way I feel about this. Good. Good for them. Thank God this is happening to them. I know, it sounds cruel, but you can't sit there on your high horse in your White Castle, see people suffering, Americans in Texas and Arizona and all those border states, and they complain and then try to play, oh, well, they're racist if they don't want them to come in. They're racist if they want regular policy, right? There's some form of border policy. They're racist. So the good people in Texas did the right thing. They said, okay, let's send them to you. You can handle it. We can't handle millions of people coming in. We can't handle hundreds of thousands of people, right? We can't handle all those people. But it seems like you can. That's why your people are marching in the streets, saying that we're the racist. But now, if you send the migrants to them and they're marching in the streets saying that they want to close the borders, are they now the racist? Is Mayor Adams the racist for sending them to other places? You see how this works? Listen. I'm going to tell you 110%. Border needs to be closed. We need to have some type of policy, and we have to have some type of plan when somebody crosses that border that we can be able to take care of them. They can be able to take care of them. They can work for themselves. They can do something so and so, right? When you have a family cross the border, the issue is they got to eat. They got to be housed. People have to take care of them. Those are the facts. And that's just not because there's good feelings. And I'm going to say it, and I've been saying it a lot in this video, but this, to me, all has occurred because it was one of those, as long as it's in Texas and Arizona, it is okay. But as soon as it comes to New York, it's not. Let me know where I'm wrong in the comment section. I know, Nate, you're a right-wing lunatic. You don't make any sense. You're just crazy, bro. You're crazy. No. I'm giving you the truth. And the truth is, good for what's happening in New York. I hope they tear themselves apart because they wanted this. And now they got the nerve to try to pretend like something is wrong. That the Texas mayor is racist because he's giving you what you wanted. Next time these idiots march in the streets talking about we want families belong together, rally or march now in New York. You know what? I bet you changed your tune now. I bet this is a different. I bet these 30,000 people wish they hadn't done this. Because now this right over here is what the streets of New York look like. Migrants sleeping on the streets. That's what it's come to. And you are okay with this as long as it wasn't there in New York. Now you got to step over these migrants to go to work. Good. Tell me how I'm a racist lunatic in the comments section. My name is Nathan. I'm out of here. Peace.